Yo, man, what it is and what it ain't, man. It's your boy BL Ratchet, man, back again. We are Florida Podcast, presented by Mix on Essentials, man. I told you, all 2025, man, and we was going to bring out the biggest and the best. So, and man, listen, we got a special guest today.
Yes, sir. Jason Jeremiah, Florida real estate agent. Instagram at Agent Jason J.
Okay, so like, my boy say real estate agent. So we going to learn about, buying and selling homes today.
Definitely. I mean, I am a residential realtor. I've been selling real estate for about 6 years. About 98% of my clients are first-time home buyers. The other 2% are investors. So what I'm going to speak about is just general across the board for common folks. If you're thinking more creative financing, investment routes, that's a different conversation. But most of my clients are first-time home buyers, traditional home buyers and sellers.
Okay. So, like, man, where you from? Let's get a little bit into your backstory.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I've been down here long enough. Here in Florida, what happened was my family they divorced, and then we came to Florida. They actually gave us a choice when we were young, which I don't know how you give a kid that choice to stay in New York or come to Florida, but they sat us down and we all made a decision. So,
and you said, "Let me go to Florida."
Pretty much, it was crazy because okay, so I have 4 siblings. It was us 4 total. And they sat us all down and they said, would you like to stay in New York with father or go to Florida with mother? Because mother, she had a sister down here, my auntie. Well, father, you're usually out working. We're kids, right? And so most kids gravitate towards the mother. So it's like, just going to go stay with mom. And so that's kind of what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved down here to Florida at what age?
About 10.
Okay, 10. So about 10. So you kind of spent like your adolescence in like middle school, high school, and everything that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, did you go to college?
Technical college. So after high school, I went to get my pharmacy license. Mm-hmm. So I was a pharmacy technician at Brewster Technical College. So that's what I did right after high school. And then did my interns at the Veterans Hospital here in Tampa. And then I've been a pharmacy technician for years. Like 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you get into real estate and everything like that?
Yeah, so the plan was always to become a pharmacy technician and then go back to school to get my PharmD, to become a pharmacist with the long white lab coats, the fancy folks. But as a pharmacy technician, I'm working with the pharmacists at the hospital. I'm seeing what they're doing day in and day out. I'm speaking to them. I'm interviewing them at different shifts, graveyard shifts, morning shifts, different ones. I spoke to about 80 different pharmacists over my course of time there. And I seen that most of them didn't really want to become a pharmacist. They did it because of money or because they were strong-held to. Like one of them told me that their parents pretty much forced them to because she was a pharmacist. Her grandmother was a pharmacist. And they told her, if you don't go to the pharmacy school, we're not paying for whatever you decide to choose besides pharmacy. So after hearing all those stories, you make the big bucks, you got the white lab coat, but this isn't really what you wanted to do. And so I'm seeing how the pharmacists are verifying doctor's orders, processing prescriptions. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that forever. And so I made a decision. And so at that time, I already had good friends that were into stock market, cryptocurrency, foreign exchange. And they were trying to get me in that field, but I wasn't comfortable because it wasn't tangible. I was like, well, what's an investment route that's tangible? It's like real estate. That's an intangible investment. I can actually feel it. I can actually pull up on it, touch it, smell it, as weird as that sounds. But it's more tangible than a crypto coin. I was like, shoot, I don't know anything about real estate though. So I was like, what if I build a business selling it, learn the behind the scenes while selling, then invest into it? That was the plan. So what got me into real estate was more the investment route. Wasn't to be like the top realtor in the state or something. It was more investment driven to learn the behind the scenes. So yeah.
Okay. So like, did you go take a course? Did you study? Like, how did you kind of,
Yeah, so all realtors have to be licensed with the state, but before that, you have to pass school. So there's a class from an accredited school that the state acknowledges as accredited, and then after you pass that class, you're then pushed to the state exams. And then take that state exam, you pass that, and then the state can issue you your official license.
Did you pass it first go around, or did you have to retake it?
I retook it. It took me 3 times. I was going through a lot at that time. And so the first time I failed it by 2 questions. The second time I failed it by 1 question. It wasn't extremely hard, but just other life circumstances was adding on stress. And so I had to push through. And then that third time and made it happen. What helped me at that moment was something that my professor said in real estate school. Pretty much said that the last person to finish, how do you say it? The last person to finish medical school is still a doctor. You could have been the bottom in your class, but you finished medical school, you're still a doctor. So that helped. I mean, every realtor's going to have a different story. Past first time, past 3 times. I know a realtor had to take it 10, 11 times, you know. I tell realtors that it's not a big determining factor of your success, though.
Okay.
Because you could have a realtor that passed it on the first time and didn't sell a home the entire year. You can have a realtor that took 8 times to pass it, and in that first year they made over 100,000. They sold 12 homes. They go, you see what I'm saying? The exam doesn't dictate your success. So.
Okay. So you know that after you passed the exam and everything like that, did you get hired immediately? What did you do after that? Like, was your first year hard? Was it easy?
Yeah. So in regards to getting hired, I tell new realtors, because they DM me all the time for like insight and information. I guess I make it look too fancy on social media. So a lot of folks, DM me, Jason, should I quit my job and get into it and all this stuff? And I'm telling them, hold on. But I try to speak to them to give them the mindset when you're interviewing different brokerages, because each realtor has to hang their license with a brokerage firm, a company, Century 21, Keller Williams, what have you. You have to hang your license with a broker, and then they'll activate your license. But I tell realtors, when you're interviewing them, it's different than getting interviewed for a job, because you have to literally interview them back. It's not just them interviewing you. Because if you choose to hang your license with them, you're giving that company some of your compensation. So you have to also speak to them, like, what do you have for me? What value are you giving me to where I should hang my license with you? And then with each closed transaction I have, this company's biting off it. So it's, you guys are interviewing each other. That's a pretty big difference. Yeah.
For sure.
I forgot your second question, brother. You said, was the first year hard?
Yeah, was the first year hard?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. Brand new realtor. You don't know what you don't know. I was pretty young, so it's like, who's gonna trust me to help them with their biggest investment yet? It's a lot of like those self-defeating thoughts. Goodness, yeah, I was a sponge. You pretty much have to be. You don't have the experience. You're not as competent yet. You're not as well versed. You have to be a sponge. There's a lot that you don't know, and there's folks relying on you to know what they don't know to guide them correctly. So,
for sure. So how did you, what I'm saying, now that you a vet in the game, how did you kind of approach the first year though? Like, was you confident when you were talking to, what I'm saying, customers? Was you running away customers? Like, how was it?
I would say, man, I would probably think that I was confident, but what came out probably wasn't really confident. I knew that I had my youth going against me. It took me about 8 months to make my first sale per se, but up until that, I was a sponge downloading everything. Also, I was going through things at the time. I won't get into it too deep right now, but it was a lot of stress against me and a lot of opposition. So I kind of didn't have a choice. Like, I had to get good fast and execute.
What does it take though to be like a good salesman? You know what I'm saying? A good real estate agent.
Good question. What does it take? I would say you just have to be willing to perform, willing to invest your time, effort. You have to be competent. You have to be ready to gain experience. You have to you kind of got to get obsessed with it for a second. You have to eat, breathe, sleep real estate. If this is what you're really saying you want to do, you have to know it inside and out and backwards. And so that's what I did. I didn't also stop at the realtor side. There's other puzzle pieces of the real estate transaction. You got the lender, you got the home inspector, you got the title company, got the appraiser, got all these other folks. I wanted to learn their worlds as much as I could as well. So if anyone's telling you to stay in a realtor's place, don't listen to them. You have to really be well-versed, because in my first year, a lot of folks thought that I would be the only person they would speak to for the real estate transaction, because real estate and real estate agent. I'm like, hold on now. There's tons of other people involved in one transaction. but they come to you thinking it's only you because they want to buy real estate and you're the real estate agent. I'm talking about a lot of first time home buyers that really don't know too much. And it's like, wait, there's more people I have to work with besides you? And it's like, yeah, here's what's going on. Here's the process. Here's the other puzzle pieces involved. Here's why they're involved. Here's the value that they provide. So yeah, I would just tell any new realtor, be prepared to be a sponge, prepare to go crazy, and prepare to put in the work.
For sure. So speaking on, people being first time home buyers, like, do you feel like everyone should own a home?
I would say, good question. I would say most people should. I'm not the type of realtor just because I make a living off selling real estate, I'm going to say everyone should buy a home now. Things have to make sense, right? But in general, on a basic principle and practical level, everyone should own real estate. It's so important because the fact is this: if you don't own it, you're gonna rent it. That's how important it is. We're talking a safe haven. We're talking shelter. On a basic level, real estate is shelter. Most of us won't survive in the forest and with fighting the wildebeests and stuff like. Most of us can't start a fire like that. Most of us can't build a tent out of shed or whatever out of wood and
TP and all that.
Right. Realistically, we're not going to survive, most of us, in the wilderness. We need shelter. So when you boil real estate down to its basic level, it's shelter, it's housing, it's a necessity. Yeah. I actually was having a debate years ago with one of my friends that was more into crypto. And we was having a debate, go back and forth, which one's more important, cryptocurrency, owning that, or owning real estate. I pretty much ended off the debate by saying, you can't say real estate isn't as important, and then after you leave this debate, you're going to go where? Home.
Yeah, you're going to go home.
You're going to go home. I can survive without owning a coin. I mean, granted, depending on the coin, I'm not too deep into that. It's risk involved. If you're going to buy a crypto coin, okay, cool. But when you leave this debate, you still have to go home.
For sure.
And so I was like, just by that alone, I win this debate, brother. We don't got to go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, buying homes in Florida has got crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know sometimes I be feeling like, man, if I could have bought a home back in my parents' time or my grandparents' time, it would have been,
No, 100%. And
we would have probably had 4 or 5 homes.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. And this is why I tell
But the
folks,
economy was different as well. So.
Exactly. You were getting paid less. Homes were priced lower. A lot of different stuff there. The interest rates were different. But this is why I tell folks that owning real estate is so important as well, because it's an appreciating asset over time. And so in the future, it is likely going to be worth more than what you bought it for, especially with inflation knocking down our currency's value. It's going to take more of those same dollars to buy it, which is pretty much what inflation does. And it's a good hedge against inflation.
For sure. Would you say it's easy to buy a home? Like, would you say it's easy to buy a home or sell a home?
For me, at this point, it's easy for both. Are you talking about for myself or helping clients?
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, speak on both.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you do it correctly, it's easy. As a seller, you want to price your home correctly. You don't want to overshoot it too much and then stay on the market for too long and such. And as a buyer, you want a good buyer's agent by your side to help navigate through getting financing, which you have to be in a certain position for that. Watch out for certain pitfalls, protecting you during the contracts, negotiations, the whole thing. So really just equipping yourself with a good realtor on both sides should alleviate a lot of the stress and make it easy. Yeah, a good partner.
For sure. So, it's all type of real estate agents who kind of step outside of, just selling homes. They go to buying, fixing, and flipping. Mm-hmm. Are you into that?
I have a good buddy, Ray, if you're watching. He did that exact thing you're talking about. He's going crazy. I'm more buy and hold. I'm not that fancy as Ray just yet. Fix and flip and things like that. Okay. You're tying up your money in a certain asset. Your projected profits based off the property, how much you get it at a discount, how much it'll take to increase value, and then how long to sell that property. And then you have to split up the proceeds for who invested into the deal to begin with.
For sure.
I'm just not that fancy just yet. I mean, for me, I like slow and steady wins the race. I know real estate is a long-term play. So buy, hold, you could rent. After some years, rent it out, leave, buy another one, hold. Things have to make sense number-wise for the projected mortgage and then what the rents are in the area to make sure you get your profits. But I like slow and steady right now. I'm sure I'll get fancier with fixing and flipping and stuff more.
So, like, the last 3 years, the real estate, like, the market, like, has it gone up for you? You know what I'm saying? Has it going down?
Definitely gone up. It got more expensive, but that's because of inflation. Because what happened with COVID back in 2020, the government had to influence the market because, folks stopped working. We couldn't work, stuck in our homes. And so they pumped a lot of money into the system. PPP loans. I forgot the other one. They gave out stimulus checks to help stimulate the economy because things were froze. A big pause button was pressed. And so with them pumping money in the economy, that means it was inflation of the monetary supply. So since there's more dollars, the value goes down because there's more of it. It's more easily accessible. So
when is a good time to purchase a home?
I would say when you're ready. When you're ready mentally, when you've had enough with purchase or renting, when you're financially able to be approved for the mortgage to buy. Most of us would have benefited if we bought 5-10 years ago versus, what we could do with the equity and sell it for now.
Facts.
It's powerful. As soon as you can, when it makes the most sense, execute, lock in, because once again, you're either going to rent the roof over your head or you're going to own it. So you're going to benefit or your landlord will. So
for sure. So I got a question.
Yeah.
Do realtors beef?
Beef. Elaborate a little bit.
Because I know it's competition at the office. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I know y'all probably have little boards and charts that say like, this person sold the most this month.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? This person sold the second, the third, fourth, fifth.
No, you're right.
So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Is it like a
it's kind of like
competition?
Call it like a measuring contest type of thing. Yeah, some realtors, they go to the office, and so how much are you projected to sell this year, or you have anything pending on the contract now this month? You have anything set to close this month? Or there's all of that. I don't get tied up into those things because remember, I came into it with an investor point of view. So I didn't come into it to be the top 1% realtor in the state. So I remember when I first started, though, there was a lot of that going on. I just let those other realtors have at it. I'm over here absorbing knowledge, going crazy. I wasn't worried about all that.
For sure.
Yeah, but it happens.
For sure. So being that we in the an era of social media and everything, I watch Netflix. I don't know if you watch Netflix.
Here and there.
You know what I'm saying? They had Selling Tampa, Selling Sunset, Selling this, Selling that. You get what I'm saying? Did you watch any of those?
I didn't watch them, but I do know a lot of the ladies on them, and I called them. I don't want to name any names, but I called them because years ago, before they were on Selling Tampa and stuff, we were in certain offices together. And I was kind of like the little brother out of the group. And so over the years, I'm glad to see everyone split up and go into their own rights. And whoever blew up on Netflix went crazy. But when I heard about it, I called them. I called a couple of them. And I said, is this real? Right? In terms of, is the Selling Tampa stuff close to reality of really selling real estate here on the ground in the trenches? And they said what I assumed. Jason, you know it's entertainment. It's not as real. So it's not really real in terms of the average really day in and day out of selling real estate in the trenches.
Of course.
It's doing its job. It's entertainment. But I called a couple of ladies on that show.
But making it seem like it was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not, you get licensed and then you trip and fall into a millionaire buyer, and now you're negotiating this $4 million property to get it down to $2.2 million to make your buyer happy. Not real. And I already knew it wasn't, but I still had to call to get confirmation from the ladies on the show. And it was like, Jason, it's entertainment. Because I said that, I can't name any names.
Nah, for sure. I definitely understand that. Yeah. So what do you think about realtors, who sell homes but don't own them?
Yeah, I mean that's how I started. If you're a realtor and you don't own a home yet, you're a realtor selling real estate and you don't own a home yet. I think it's just that simple. But you should strive to own your home. You should strive to believe in the product you're selling so much that even you own it. Because it was harder for me being a realtor that didn't own. You know, because clients will ask, so do you own yours or what did you do when you ran into this? I'll be like, well, I don't own my own. Like it's different. It's different.
Yeah, you kind of get stuck.
Yeah, you gotta get stuck on that, man. It's like, well, I mean, I know what I'm doing, but no, I can't relate with you personally in any way because I do not own my own home. But obviously, all of that changed now. But yes, most realtors should strive to, as soon as they can, actually lock in with the product that you're selling
For
and,
sure.
and gain the benefits. But it happens. Yeah, if you're starting off, I mean, hey.
For sure. So, what area do you want to, kind of get into outside of Florida, or do you kind of want to stay in like the Florida area?
I like Florida. If I had to choose another area, I'd probably go back home to New York.
Okay.
It would probably just be back home, learn that market, grow in that market. I think it just would make sense. But if not, all my efforts would be here locally.
Okay,
Florida's beautiful. There's no income tax. It's a sunshine state. It's a retirement state. Florida's awesome. So yeah, it's always gonna be home.
So, bro, what do you think like the best time to like? I mean, for you,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. After you've been working in whatever age you retire, type like,
Yeah.
do you got like a dream home for yourself? 'Cause
Not
I know
right
you
now.
probably show a lot of people different homes. You be
Right.
like, damn, yourself. You get what I'm saying? You
100%.
probably- Yeah.
I definitely get ideas from my dream home because of the different homes that I show. My favorite color is black. If you hadn't noticed,
Yeah.
and so I see a lot of black in my forever home. If you dream home,
The
the forever
interior and
home,
everything.
the interior, like door handles, pitch black. Some of the accent walls, pitch black. If you go to my restroom right now, curtains, everything pitch black. It's not like I'm emo or anything. Nothing's wrong with being emo, but there's a lot of black going on. Black is
Yeah.
beautiful to me, and so I get ideas. But yeah, I'm not mentally there to say I really have a clear idea of my dream home forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of HGTV? No.
I haven't watched TV in 10 years, but even with HGTV or Selling Tampa, like I don't watch it. If I know someone on it, I could call them, but I just haven't. I haven't locked in. A lot of times when it comes to folks that try to put me onto certain shows, you probably feel the same. You ever have someone try to put you onto a show and it's like you're 10 seasons behind?
Yeah.
I'll never catch up. Like I have too much other stuff that my time goes on. I'm 10 seasons behind, 12 episodes per season, an hour per episode. I'll never catch up. I know some people to like binge watch and stuff. I'm way too busy. It just won't happen. And so yeah, just over time, I just was like, nah, I'm okay.
For sure. So walk me through the process, man. I'm trying to buy a home. You know what I'm saying? What information you gonna give me or what you gonna show me?
Yeah. So usually what happens is I like to jump on a consultation call with a client. Let's just get on a common ground because you may have heard some stuff from coworkers that you work with, family members that purchased in the past, folks around you now that's purchasing. You may be hearing a billion things at once. So I slow things down with the client. Say, let's jump on a consultation call. What questions do you have for me? What things do you want to know is true? Myths that I can bust, things that were probably true in the past, but no longer true. I got to clean the slate. I don't know where you stand or who's around you in your ear. So once I clean the slate there on a consultation call, then I set proper expectations moving forward. So letting them know from a bird's eye view, looking down, what to expect. The other important puzzle pieces in a real estate transaction, connecting them with my lender, which is the puzzle piece to help you guys finance properties. They're going to be the numbers, the lender, the bank, mortgage loan officer. They go by different names. But regards to down payment, how much you qualify for, down payment assistance, interest rates, the numbers, that's going to be a good lender that I have by my side to help pre-approve clients because we definitely want to know what you qualify for before we go home shopping. A lot of folks reach out to me, Chase, I want to see this home. I want to see this home. It's not the first step because we could spend time, effort, gas, all of that, falling in love with a property, and then it turns out you may qualify for a little bit less. Or you may be setting the bar too low and you qualify for a little bit more of a home that could meet a lot of your needs better. So let's let's get on a common ground first, set proper expectation, get pre-approved so we can know how we can shop. An analogy I like to use is you wouldn't go to the grocery store without knowing how much is in your wallet to spend. So similar to the home shopping, you got to know how much you can purchase and qualify for before you just go shopping around. So hopefully that makes sense.
For sure. So do you want to own your own brokerage one day?
No, not as of right now. I don't see the value in it right now. I can be. I think you had to be a realtor for about 5 years and then go through more schooling. I have 6 years, so I can be a broker, if I'm not mistaken. But that's just not my. Yeah, I don't have a need for it. It's a lot of liability as well because a broker, you're managing, a firm. You got all these other realtors underneath you, and depending on what they do, what they don't listen, if they get into legal disputes, because I tell clients we could end up in a courtroom really easily. When it comes to disputes, when it comes to real estate transactions, we can get sued quick. It's not to say that the person suing us will win, but we can end up in facing a judge easy. So as a broker, over all of these realtors, and then they're in legal or real estate transactions with the public, I just see a lot of liability. I don't see enough. Like for me right now, maybe in 5 years I'll say something else, but yeah, nah.
Okay. So what's the difference between like a on market, home and off market home, like for sellers?
Yeah. So a lot of times sellers, it depends on what's going on in the seller's life, if they want to go on market or not. What I've seen is that sellers that prefer to stay off market, the property needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
It needs a lot of work. I don't want to go through buyers walking through my home with showings and, they're getting financing. They may be requesting help for their closing costs because as a buyer, you can have the seller pay some of your closing costs or all of it. I want to sell it fast, quick, off market. Whoever knows about it knows about it. They also call that pocket listings. That's what the realtors call it. Because you kind of have a listing in your pocket. You know it's for sale. No one else does. It's in your pocket. It's not on the market. Whoever is connected to you knows. It's like, listen, I got this thing here for sale. If you got a cash buyer, cash investor, we can maybe make something happen, sell it at a discount. It's off market. So, transactions happen all the time, either on or off market every day.
Sure. So does a house being on the market for too long, like, does that mean something? And what does it mean?
A lot of times it means that, a couple of things. One, the property needs work as well. So the market is rejecting it. If the supply is staying on the market too long, then the demand doesn't want it. Something's going on. So it needs work, foul smell. The biggest reason is price. I tell all my sellers, let's not overprice the property. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Mm-hmm. So let's price the property realistically. So we don't sit on the market for 244 days. And then, of course, other buyers are going to say, whoa, this property is on the market over 200 days. I don't want to touch it. There could be nothing wrong with your home, but we could have listed it coming on the market too high. And then the days on market increase. So now we're trying to lower the price because we were trying to get lower to where we should have been anyway. So we're lowering the price. The days on market's increasing. The buyers on the outside looking in, just seeing the days on market, like there's something wrong with that home. Something's wrong with that seller. I don't want to touch it. So that's usually a bigger factor for what I see for properties on market. It wasn't priced correctly up front. They drove it too high, and now they have to drop the price $10,000 every other week to try to get it.
And that's my next question though.
Yeah.
Because like, should brokerages be able to sell like off market, homes in pocket less, or
like should they only be able to do it?
No, I'm saying like, should they be able to? Like,
yeah. I mean, they're definitely able to. I mean, you can partner with a seller and then still sell it off market. A realtor can still partner with a seller. A broker can still partner with a seller, and they decide not to put it on the market. It's called the MLS, the multiple listing service, for what the realtors use. So we'll call that on market. And after the realtors put it on the MLS, it syndicates to all these other third-party sites, Zillow, Homes.com, Trulia.com. It was on the MLS first, and then we had to syndicate it out. So yeah, a broker can work with a seller and not put it on the MLS. It happens, but you're just going to drastically lower the demand, the visual, how many people sees it for sale, which I don't know why a seller would want to do that. If you are going to partner with a broker, might as well get it on the MLS. You might as well get the most exposure you can to get eyeballs on your home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a quick off-topic question.
Yeah.
With Zillow and Truly and all them, like, how do they get paid?
Yeah. So, goodness gracious, these third-party sites, a lot of times realtors pay them because what's happening is when the public goes on these sites and they click around, you ever been on Zillow, you clicked around, you just got a random call from a realtor? Yeah. Most likely that realtor paid Zillow for a certain amount of zip codes that they wanted to cover, either exclusively or not exclusively. And then properties that the public clicks on showing interest, saying how I want to learn more about this home or click to inquire. They just sent your information out to a realtor that paid them to have to cover that zip code, let's say. And then that realtor calls you to see, hey, listen, what can we get done here?
Because not all people homes are on there.
Yeah.
So it's only like you are going there and you'll be looking like, say if you look in January, right?
Yeah.
But we try to look again in February. It's only like a couple days away.
Yeah.
We'll still see those same homes on there, right?
Yeah.
But we can only see the homes, I guess, that they're promoting. You get what I'm saying? Because when you look on other websites, it'll be that same one, just keep posting right in front of everybody. So we'll have to see this home.
Exactly.
So it's something like, I guess, YouTube. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Paying for a subscription, paying like to be seen first.
Definitely.
So
it's a lot of ways these third-party companies stay in business. And Zillow, TrulyOurHomes.com, they've been around for a while. Yeah. So they definitely got their profits going in and their business models. I'm not too well versed, but I know from the realtor point of view, that's how they're doing it. Because realtors pay thousands of dollars either monthly or per year because I'm Zillow. Like, I'm Zillow. Mm-hmm. A lot of the public knows my name. Do you want to use me to potentially get more clients? If you do, you're going to pay for it. Yeah, so.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, what you think about all the fires in L.A.? Like, do you think that's, are they doing that for insurance fraud? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I'll say this. I feel like L.A. and the powers that be should have done a little bit better in regards to preparing for things like this. This is not the first time LA fires happen.
No, of course.
And so because we know where LA and these things are prone, I don't know if they need to have a lot more fire hydrants, keep those pumped, more fire stations.
They said they ran out of water.
You see, backup reservoirs has to be in place. Something. We're LA.
They need to put a canal down there.
We're LA. We need water when we need it. So I feel like I'm not local there. Maybe a LA realtor would say something else. But for me, I just feel like because they know they're LA, they were supposed to be better prepared for stuff like this.
But all right, that area, that rich area, that burnt up. Like, just imagine you were selling one of those homes, like. You know what I mean?
And this is why homeowners insurance is necessary. A lot of folks don't want to hear it. It's an extra fee. It's necessary because an act of God can come. We just had 2 hurricanes here in Florida. Did you stay for that?
No, I left for one of them.
I would definitely leave for the. What was it? Helene first or Milton?
I left for Milton, but I was here for Helene.
Milton was the second one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I should have left for Milton. Helene was lighter, so I thought I could take Milton, and let's just say this. The next time they say category 5 anything, I'm leaving. I learned my lesson. Milton was crazy. But this is what I'm saying. Every place has their stuff. So in regards to LA, I just feel like even if they're like $1 million homes and stuff, people should just have been more prepared. And that's why homeowners insurance is how they are, hiked through the roofs. And so even for here in Florida, if you live on the water, you live on the coast, you live on the beaches, your homeowner's insurance is going to be high. And people don't like to hear it until a hurricane comes. They're like, oh, I'm glad I had it.
Trump say he giving all them $770.
$770 each?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to make a big dent. But I guess they all appreciate it.
Lost everything.
They all appreciate something, but I don't think it's gonna make a big dent. But here's the thing: if you're a millionaire, you own $1 million home, 10, 20, 35 million, you have insurance. Hopefully, you have adequate coverage on your home. Yeah, you're a millionaire.
Listen, all of those. All right, 20 people on one block.
Yeah,
I think they all got home insurance.
If you're a millionaire, I don't see why not. And you know you're in LA that has
You thinking everybody paying their HOA?
HOA is mandatory. HOA is mandatory.
I'm saying, and the HOA gonna put a notice on your door for the
Right.
people that ain't paying. So you
Right.
think they get their payments every month from everybody, especially like a big old community?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, brother. I see what you're saying. I just would. I'm just looking at it through my lenses. If I'm a millionaire, I have $1 million, 10, 20, $30 million asset. I'm having coverage. It just makes sense.
But Insight just told me that 75,000 people had theirs canceled by the companies out there.
Oh, see, that's a different story. If you've had it and then the insurance company just drops you out of nowhere, that's crazy. And it was right before this happened?
Yeah, before the fires.
See, now I can see why the theories come into place. Like,
but that's
somebody
what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it was all a
Somebody
scam
knew
with
something.
for everybody. That's why they say they finna build a new city out that bit, but
Really? To get dropped right before this could, yeah, it makes you think someone knows something on the inside. This was planned.
Somebody already getting sued.
Hmm.
I forgot the person name, but somebody's like a company's already getting sued for the fires already.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta look into it. I'm assuming
I
one of the
heard that
owners.
on the news, yeah.
One of the millionaire owners, I'm assuming.
I don't know, but
just
one of the
random
companies. One of
Wow.
the companies. I don't know what's the name of the company, but we'll find out after the podcast.
Definitely.
For sure. So, man, what is one of your goals as a real estate agent, man?
I mean, I do like to see a lot of folks building wealth and getting into that home ownership world. A lot of my clients initially thought it couldn't happen. It just can't be me chasing. There's no way. Fast forward, they're in their homes. They're building equity. They're building wealth. Over the years, I've seen that time and time again. It feels great. It feels good. A lot of my videos on Instagram, I got to start doing it more again. But yeah, I used to be dancing with clients, ballerina spins. They would kiss. We'd throw bottles up at the closing table, the title company. I try to have fun. I try to be a little different. I want to be me. That's why I don't wear like suit and ties and stuff. Other realtors, suit and tie. I want to stay myself. But there's a way to have fun and enjoy everything. That's pretty much the biggest goal there.
Okay.
And then for myself personally is to own more real estate, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how important is it, like renting and buying in a good neighborhood or a good city?
Yeah.
Or even a bad city or a bad neighborhood?
Location is huge. I always tell clients that if you don't like the carpet in a home, you could change that over time. If you don't like the light fixtures, you could change that. The location, try picking up your home and plopping it in a different location. You can't change that easy. So location is huge, and it plays a big part in the supply and demand and the value of the home. For example, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1,500 square feet. Let's say it's on, 3,000 square footage of a lot and land. Put that property, let's say, out in a rural area where the nearest gym is 15 miles away. The nearest grocery store is 44 miles away. Something crazy. The value for that home is going to be a little bit lower because it's lower demand wanting that supply. So they have to likely sell it a little bit lower. It's not in a location where the demand calls for higher values and prices. But that same 3-2, 1,500 square feet, more in the city, you got a lot of convenience stores, different things like that. It's going to be priced more than the one in the rural area or out in the country. Put that same 3-2 right on the beach, right on the shores. Same 3-2 square feet, beds and baths, finishes, features, amenities, all that. How much do you think it's going to be? It's going to be worth even more because of the location. Now you're sitting on the beaches. How many people want to live on the beach? Open your front door, take a few steps, your feet in sand. The beaches, that's crazy. And that's why a lot of the beaches are going to be in the millions easy. Folks are willing to pay that. A lot of millionaires, some random person parachutes into Florida from Massachusetts. They want this unit, this condo, this property right here on the beach. How much is it? 15 million? Okay, cool. Closed in 2 weeks, done. Like this is what they want. The demand is higher. So yeah, the location's huge.
For sure. So what's I got 2 more questions before we get off the podcast.
Yeah.
But what are 3 things that, have you seen that first-time home buyers make the mistake on?
Yeah.
Buying homes?
The biggest, I would say not partnering with a good real estate agent because A lot of times when clients come to me, they left someone else, or they already closed on a home with someone else years ago, and then they learn a lot from me that they didn't learn from the new realtor or from the previous realtor. And your realtor's supposed to have your back, help you dodge pitfalls, help you, get guided through the real estate journey, because you don't know what you don't know. You're counting on your realtor to have the experience that you don't have, or else why am I partnered with you anyway? And so not having a good partner by your side, because that realtor also will have their go-to lender, title company, what have you. You just want to have someone that's equipped, efficient, competent, and experienced. Another big thing is a lot of my clients don't like when I speak about inspections. They want to just skip that cost. I don't want to hire an inspector. The property looks good when I walk through the home. We need eyeballs on it, because there's a lot of stuff that we can't see that the inspector will. When they're going to go through the components, x-ray through the walls, we got to really see if this property is a good property to move forward with. For the prices I'm seeing, depending on the property, maybe $500 to $700 for an inspector, depending on what you want inspected. It's like, man, Jason, if I skip the inspection, I could just pocket that or put more in the closing costs or stuff. It's not worth skipping. I've seen $500 inspections save my clients $25,000. That's crazy, because the inspector went, they checked the foundation of the home. In this particular example, the beams underneath the home was worn out. It was a property, it was on a crawl space. Inspector went underneath the crawl space, had his light, had all the equipment, and it's like, these beams are going to give out. The foundation's about to cave in. We took that report back to the seller to try to negotiate. The seller said that we're not touching it. We're selling the property as is. Okay, that's fine. As is. We pulled out the contract and disappeared, because in the as is contract, your inspection period gives you enough time to do your inspections and your due diligence. And if you have to back out the contract, you do it in those inspection period days, the agreed upon days from the seller and buyer. So if the seller wants to play hardball, knowing that there's something massively wrong with their home, all right, I'm going to cancel this contract in 10 minutes. Goodbye. Go back on the market. Try to get another buyer that's willing to deal with this problem. You're going to deal with it with us or someone else, or you're just not going to deal with it. Maybe deal with it on your own time. Pull the home off the market. Try again after you've taken care of the problem. So yeah, we got quotes. That's how we know it was going to take $25,000 to redo all the beams underneath the home. And the buyer's like, yeah, we're out of here. We got the quotes. We already have to pay for the quotes, so someone can go out there, inspect, and then run a quote for us. Seller said, no, we're pulling out. $500 saved my clients $25,000. Imagine if they would have skipped out on the inspection, saved $500, closed on the home. 2 weeks later, the foundation caves in. Look at the mess on their hands. We got to scramble to find this money. So I would say skipping out on the inspections is a big no-no. It's definitely a big mistake. It's not worth the savings. Trust me. A good inspector is worth every penny. That's two I got for you right there. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen that this viral story that's been going viral in Ohio with a real estate agent. He had recently basically built the house in like a area that was just getting developed or whatever. He's a developer as well. He's a real estate agent and a developer.
Yeah.
So I guess this whole neighborhood he kind of built, but he lives in the neighborhood, so he has one of the biggest houses in the neighborhood. Okay. And I guess somebody was in his yard when he came home. It was a lady and her two kids that was in his yard. Okay. And he pulled up there and went to check in the mailbox and was finna walk inside. And she asked him, like, what are you doing here? But this is his house. She like, do you live here? So he went to walk up to like his front porch or whatever. He was like, do you live here or anything like that? He was like, I live here. And she was like, I don't believe that you live here. So she grabbed her kids and went to running down the street saying, help me, help me, help me. So she said, I'm coming back I'm going to get my husband. She went to go get her husband. They called the police. The police came back over there. And by this time, he called his wife and everything. And basically, the police came to their house and they spoke to the police. They were like, we own this home, and you get what I'm saying? We built half of this neighborhood and stuff like that. Crazy. So with him just being like a real estate agent and stuff, he comes out and talks to the police and tells the police like, like I built this home from like ground up. You get what I'm saying?
It's
And
crazy.
I know if you selling homes in rich neighborhoods, they might try to figure out like why you in the neighborhood.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? Like what you doing out here? Like because you might have access to the house. You might have the keypad to the house. You get what I'm saying? So have you ever ran into a problem like that?
No, man. I mean, the only thing close to that, maybe it was like 4 years ago or something. The realtor gave me the wrong code on the property to disarm the alarm. So when I walked into a home, the client was behind me. The alarm went off. I couldn't turn it off because it had the wrong code.
And the client looking like...
I told the client, view the property really fast. Go home. We'll chat later because we're already here.
Oh, man.
Just go, 'cause we can't both flee the scene. I'm the licensed professional. I'll stay because the cops are coming. Like after the thing beeps out, I was like, okay, the police are on their way. Finish viewing the home, go, I'll stay, I'll handle this. So pretty much the police came, I explained the situation, called the realtor, it was like 1 digit off. She gave me the wrong disarm code by 1 digit and everything was taken care of. But in regards to that story, nothing on that level. That's crazy.
Yeah, like this is a brand new story. It happened in November, but it's a video. We can watch it after the podcast. I'll show you the video.
Yeah, that's
sad. It's crazy.
I know she feels stupid. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah,
she feels stupid.
But she hasn't apologized either though. And they all part of like a HOA, everything like that. So
Pride.
They got a group chat. She said nobody said nothing in the group chat. No nothing. She said they live 2 blocks up. So there's like a person that doesn't even stay next to them.
Is this a brother? Is this
yes? They're brothers, but this is a Karen.
This is a Karen. Yeah, pride, man. Karen, if you're watching this, I feel like you should be an adult, just like you had the cojones and the confidence to walk up to this stranger, not knowing anything about him. You don't even know he's the developer of the entire community. You had that same confidence to walk up on him, accuse him of stuff, get your husband, call the police, all this stuff. You should have a little bit of confidence and strength left over to muster up an apology. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I guess it's no different than seeing someone in a fancy car and he's like, how do you afford this? Like it's, once they prove you wrong, you should feel stupid. You should give them an apology and then rethink your life viewpoint moving forward.
Because if somebody pull out that pink slip and show you know what I'm saying, this is my car, this what's going on.
I could respect you more if you mustered up an apology.
No, for sure.
You know, a lot of people, take that slap in the face, walk off with their pride. I think it's more mature to just say, you know what, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's all you. And then rethink your viewpoint. The person driving away could respect you that much more if you can muster that up.
And the thing is, the people said they wasn't even going to put their video out from their Ring camera. Mm-hmm. But the apology never came. The HOA never apologized. Like the people that that the community never said like,
that's crazy.
We deeply sorry.
Something.
Seen some edible arrangements over there. I mean, just a little sunflower, something over there to the house.
Anything is better than just silence. And let's just act like that didn't happen, brother. What?
Yeah.
That
so now they feel some type of way. So they put the Ring camera footage out to like show the world, and now it's kind of like blowing up. But we definitely gonna watch it after this, though.
Definitely.
But I definitely appreciate you for coming on the podcast, man. Anything else you want to, kind of let the people know what's going on about you?
I mean, reach out, Jason Jeremiah, agent Jason J. As for newer realtors, you do have to be a sponge, prepare to absorb a lot of knowledge. I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot. But one foot in front of the other is what I tell my clients. And also, try to be yourself. Like, even for me, you already know I don't wear suit and ties. I have 11 piercings. I like my hats. I have 20 hats, different colors. They say different things. I've been building the brand like this for a while. It's helped me, I feel like, with confidence to just stay to who I am. It doesn't mean you got to go crazy or anything, but even if it's how you dress, how you portray yourself, I think the biggest thing clients want to know is, are you competent? Are you experienced? Do you have my back? Do you actually care about me? Can you protect me? But yeah, I think that helps.
For sure. And I ain't gonna lie to you, if you're trying to buy a home and y'all tap in with my boy Jason, man.
Definitely.
For sure. Keep striving, keep going up. We are Florida Podcast, man. 2025, we doing it big. Let's ride.
Let's work.